And I thought I would do a quick video about how to do a volcano embark. They're really fun. They're actually easier than normal embarks in a lot of ways, but they're really cool. And so you just need to be aware of some special unique advantages and challenges. So for advantages, pretty obvious. Instant, infinite source of heat right at the lip of the volcano. So for, those who may not know, forges, smelters, glass kilns, glass makers and kilns, that is, these all take a source of fuel, which you have to make from, you either have to make coke from stone products or you have to make charcoal from wood. And that's time intensive, it's resource intensive, and it's not infinite. But if you have a source of magma, you can park the magma versions of those items, of those, what are they called, workshops. You can do a magma forge, a magma glass maker, magma kiln, magma smelter. And those can sit right on the lip of your volcano and just infinitely, they don't need fuel. The magma is the fuel, and it doesn't run out. So that's an obvious advantage right there, of course. Now, major disadvantage, I would say, is the verticality of it. So in every volcano I've seen, it's basically a big, deep basin of magma that basically goes down more or less to the center of the earth, to the bottom of the map. But I've experimented with this now a little bit, and the interesting thing is that it is a finite amount of magma. So, there's no flow-in sources like you might find from a river or an underground lake. So if you poke a hole in the side of your volcano, you'll get this really cool spout of magma, that flows out over everything, but it will drain your volcano. And so those forges and everything that you just set up on the lip are now not going to be fed because the magma level has dropped a little bit. And of course, it's not a problem. You can carve down into the volcano and put the forges at the new level anytime. It's not a big deal, but just something to be aware of. The other thing that's kind of challenging is that you do have the source of magma, but if you try to dig into it at any point, the whole point of it is that it's a solid tube of rock that's completely full of magma. So if you try to get in and put a magma forge or any other workshop over that source, which is what it needs to be hovering over and receiving heat from below it. If you try to dip into it on any level except the tippy top of this glass of magma that's filled to the very top, there's probably going to be spills, there's probably going to be level issues at the top and things like that. So you really have to pick at it and be careful with it. So for starters, eventually I'll have to tap into the magma down in these lower levels. But for now, what I'm doing is just kind of making the verticality of this especially tall volcano easier on my dwarfs. And so that's why on the right you see, on the left side of the volcano is the Stairway to Heaven. So basically how this works, my embark was, for some reason, the wagon went up to the very top of the mountain, which was actually nice. That was ideal. I guess the dwarves knew what I wanted. They knew that I was going to want to settle around the lip of this volcano. But so we dug straight down, and then you'll see here, when we get to the ground level, the fortress kind of branches out on both sides so that there's easy access to both sides of the mountain. And on the right side, there's enough of a, it's not a cliff face, so the dwarves can just walk up, can climb the mountain on that side. And on the left side is my Stairway to Heaven, which is my 30 levels of staircase, basically. And, just colonizing all around the lip of this volcano. We're already, I think, if I can get this fortress to thrive, the theme for this one is going to be like Spartan dwarves. We have fluxstone. Oh, another advantage of settling near a volcano is that volcanoes often have kind of rich rock composition. So you'll find, maybe it's my imagination, but I want to say a little more gem, a little more rare metals, a little different distribution. Like we've created like a lot more lead than I anticipated. It's not in my stocks now because I turned it into lead cages for defenses. But yeah, a lot of lead and silver early on from like Galena. A lot of native copper. Who knows if this is specifically related to volcanic activity, but that's what I've noticed on this map. And so I think what I'm going to do is like a Spartan. I'm going to have all my dwarves training hard, and I'm going to actually really try to outfit them like all 3 levels of armor, really get into the squad mechanics and make sure that these guys are like Terminators, just metal-plated kill machines. So I mentioned that like verticality is more of an issue in volcano embarks because you have this magma surface that is usually above you know, the average ground level because it's, you know, the top of a mountain. So your dwarves, instead of, you know, the instinct for dwarves is like you're going to press down into the earth, and you do want to do that in a volcano embark, but you also have to kind of honor the surface of the magma, or not. I mean, I guess one way to embark, leave in the comments if you embark in a different way on volcanoes than I do, but I mean, I guess you could also just immediately dig into the magma, drain it a little bit, and then have a pool down closer to ground level that you use for your forges. But you have to make that decision is the point. You're going to have an embark that immediately has accessible magma surface, but it's going to be at the very top of your map. And in my case, this is like a skyscraper volcano. I don't think I've ever seen elevation like 83 before. You know, usually I think across the whole map, it's like elevation 0 is usually a little below ground. You know, the like grass level is outdoors is usually maybe like 12 for me, somewhere around there. But this is like 60 Z levels up from that, from what it considers to be the flat elevation of the whole continent, as I understand it. So I definitely, it's been pressuring me because it takes a lot of time, especially to haul things up the mountain. It takes a lot of extra time. And so like I need to either make it quite easy to get to the top, or I need to bring the lava down, or I need to tap into it at a lower level. And I'm still kind of experimenting and thinking about all three of these. Let me know what you recommend if one of those is better overall. I'm sure long term, if you can have a sustainable way to tap into it at a much deeper level, that's definitely preferable. But yeah, we have flux-stone, we have plenty of metal, and we have infinite fuel for our forges. So I'm thinking like Spartan, I want to go heavy metal with this. I want these dwarves like very battle hardened, very well equipped. And yeah, who knows? Maybe, you know, the people they capture get sacrificed to the volcano or something. I don't know. You know, pitting animals into magma is a thing that you can do. That's all I'll say. It exists in the game. Prisoners, animals, you can definitely pit them into magma, and then it's the volcano's problem, and they won't bother you again. I'll just say that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave in the comments if there's any other important considerations about embarking on a volcano that you think, you know, people should know about. Magma crabs, I almost missed talking about. So that's a big downside of embarking on a volcano in general, is that magma crabs live in magma and they will mess with you. They will come out and be aggressive at least a little bit, but I've never had too much of an issue with magma crabs. They're, you know, they're like beasts, you know, they'll wander in, they might cause trouble. They might get somebody hurt if you're not careful. So just be aware of that. But yeah, hey, if you made it this far, please remember to like and subscribe. We actually lost a few subscribers when I did that creative writing video. So, you know, that hurt my feelings a little bit, but I understand, you know, that people subscribe when I'm doing good content. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for everybody who's staying with me, helping me support and make these videos. And I'll do my best to keep them coming. Thanks, everybody. I'll catch you soon.